Welcome to spring training. And we are here with the Seattle Mariners getting ready to start spring training. The first game on the docket is the Seattle Mariners, the San Diego Padres. Noah Syndergaard will make his spring training debut against Dilson Lamet. And we lose that game 4-2. Logan Gilbert ends up picking up the loss. Blake Snell ends up picking up the win. Lamet goes 3 innings. Snell goes an inning, gives up 2 runs. Paddock, Moran, Pomeranz, and Pagan all get holds, while Keila gets his first save of the spring. He gets 2 Ks on the bottom in the 9th inning. As for Seattle, Syndergaard goes 3 innings, gives up 3 hits, 1 run. Carlos Rodon goes an inning, gives up a hit, a run, walks 2, strikes out 2. Gilbert goes an inning, gives up a hit, 2 runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks. Marquevius goes an inning. Giles goes an inning. Sewell goes an inning, and Minter goes the final inning. It was a crazy time. We saw Zimmerman pinch hit for Walton. In the 7th, Kelenic was pinch hit for by Perez. Nottingham pinched hit for Lewis. Williams pinched hit for Haniger. Franco pinched hit for Haggerty. And McKinney also pinched hit for France. That was about it for those. It was a crazy drive. On to the next game, which will be the 4th against the Cleveland Indians. We win that game 2-1. Logan Gilbert gets the win. Ross Stripling gets the loss. James Paxton will face Carlos Rondon. We end up winning that one 2-0. Ken Giles gets the win. Braylon Marquez ends up with the loss. Let's see. We end up losing to Colorado 11-0. Tyler Mahle gets the loss. Austin Gomer gets the win. And at this point, we are 5-5 going into the 13th of March against the Dodgers. We've won our last 2 games against Kansas City and Texas. Basically, we lost 2, stopped the losing streak, lost 2, built a 2-game winning streak going into the next week. It's pretty interesting. We are now sitting at 10-7. We're in the midst of a 3-game winning streak. Let's take a look at some of the stats so far for the spring. Mitch Haniger is hitting .289. Let's see who has the best average here right now for the spring. And that would actually be Derek Fisher, who only has 11 at-bats. Ty France is actually hitting over .302 because he's been a regular player. Billy McKinney is hitting .300. Mitch Haniger's hitting .289. I think the worst average we've got for a person who is over 10 games is actually Kyle Lewis. at 196. Maikel Franco at 187. Luis Torres hitting 167. Dom T. Williams is hitting 154. J.P. Crawford and Ryan Zimmerman are hitting 143. And then Herman Perez is hitting 067. And actually, Mitch Moreland is hitting a flat donut. He's had 7 at-bats and has not gotten a hit all spring. That could be interesting. And we're going to go into final week. Mitch Haniger suffers an injury during the spring. He tore his calf. He will miss the first 2 months of the season. He will be put on the 60-day DL. And while we're at it, we will go ahead and fix lineups. So we will be without Mitch Haniger for the first 2 months. He's listed time on the DL is 55 days, so I don't really know what we're gonna do with this, because I was not expecting. Well, I wasn't expecting any injuries, but you deal with what you got, and we will finish the spring 16-11. Went on our last 2 games, 7-2 against San Diego and 2-0 against San Francisco. The biggest takeaway we have for the spring is the fact that Mitch Haniger is going to be out for 2 months. That is going to be a bit of a killjoy. Sorry. Let's see. So, Derek Fisher, who appeared in 25 games, who played in 25 games, finished with a 357 average. Jared Kelnick ended up with 307. Shed Long Jr. ended up with a 300. Let's see. 280 for Donnie Walton. 275 for Evan White. Let's see. And Mitch Moreland and David Masters ended up with a 0 average. Masters only had 2 at-bats, so that's kind of one of those where it's like, it's not that big of a surprise. Hernan Perez had a 111, so it was not the ideal spring we would want for our pitchers. For our hitters, actually, our pitchers, well, Noah Syndergaard went 4-1. Well, we're going to start with the starters. Syndergaard went 4-1. Marco Gonzalez went 3-1. Tyler Mahle went 2-2. Bryce Wilson went 2-1. Logan Gilbert went 2-2. Carlos Rendon went 1-0. Went 1-0. And the rest of our starters, well, Nick Markakis didn't post anything, but he did pitch 13 2/3 innings. But Trevor McGill and Dave Dunning didn't even see any action this spring. Relief pitchers, we did pretty decent. Kendall Graveman got 10 saves. Uh, 11.1 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, a 3.18 ERA with a 141 WHIP. He appeared in 12 games, so 10 saves in 12 games. That's not bad. No, he didn't have a blown save at all, so that is another good thing. So we finished the spring 16 and 11. Let's see. Right now, as it stands, we are looking at Dom T. Williams being the right fielder. It's going to be an interesting spring, especially setting the 40-man once the season starts. This is going to be interesting. Not having Haniger for the first 2 months of the season, it's I'm not sure what's going to happen, but it's going to make things interesting, that's for sure. We still have Ken Giles and we still have Dylan Moore on due up for contract extensions. We are not going to we're not going to extend them right now. Maybe once the season gets started and we kind of get a better idea for where they are, we'll make that decision. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to move. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move forward into the regular season, where we will open up against the Detroit Tigers. Let's see. We have a 3-game set against the Tigers to start the season, and then we will hit the road, play 3 games against Tampa, 3 games against the Dodgers, a 4-game set at Yankee in New York before coming back home to play Toronto, and then we will head to Houston, and then we will head to Minnesota to end the month of April and start the month of May. So that's what our first month will look like. It's going to be interesting. It definitely is going to be an interesting spring. So yeah, the way the lineup looks right now, we're gonna have Jacob Nottingham, Mitch Moreland, Evan White, Sam Haggerty, and Hernan Perez coming off the bench. So our rotation, well, it's actually going to be a little interesting. Looks like we're going to start with, interesting. And I'm not exactly sure how I like this, but we'll roll with it. Okay, so it'll be Syndergaard, Carlos Rendon, Marco Gonzalez, Tyler Mahle, and Dane Dunning as the 5. He and Bryce Wilson probably will swap out for the number 5, depending on how things go. With Ken Giles back up to full speed, he will maintain the closer role, and we will actually, you know what, I'm actually gonna move I may actually move Kendall Graveman just because of his stamina into more of a long-term role. So I didn't realize he has an 82 stamina. Man could make a run as a damn fine starting pitcher. If I'm gonna be honest. So I don't know. We'll see. That's something to tinker with. As far as my... oh shit, okay. As far as some of my young guys go, we are going to... As far as my young draft picks go, they will both be sitting, and they will both be on AA. So we will definitely be having I'll definitely be having episodes with them throughout the year, kind of seeing where they're at, how they're progressing, and we'll see from there. As one of them is the catcher, the other is an outfielder. Yeah, the other's in center field. So it'll be interesting to see where they end up. Actually, before we end this episode, I'm going to take a look at the top prospect list real quick. And the top prospect, actually, at this present point in time, is actually in the Orioles AAA organization, and that is the catcher Adley Rutschman. He is a 75 overall switch hitting catcher who's coming along nicely. Yeah, he's coming along pretty nicely. Mackenzie Gore is the number 2. He is with the San Diego Padres. Our first top 50 prospect is right fielder Julio Rodriguez. He is a 75 overall right fielder. He will, if his numbers come up, he may get a run. He may get a run at the show. It just depends on how well his numbers come up before we make any moves. The number 4 prospect is C.J. Abrams. He's a shortstop with the Padres organization in AAA. We have another shortstop at number 5, and that is Marco Luciano. He is with the Giants organization. Jason Dominguez, a center fielder with the Rockies organization, is sitting at number 6. It's going to be interesting. He is a potential 71 overall center fielder, and he's got the fielding. His arm's going to need some work, but he's got the fielding. He's got speed. The rest of his stuff should come along, hopefully. We'll see. Number 7 is our second prospect on the list, and that is Noel Marte. He's a shortstop in our AA organization. He is another potential prospect sitting at 70 overall. If we can get his contact versus right-handers up and his power ratings up, he has good, I'm not going to say great, but he has good fielding and arm at 19. So he's doing pretty well. If we get those up, we'll be better. The number 8 prospect is, of course, Bobby Witt Jr. He is actually going to be the first of Right now, 3 that are on the major league level. He will be with the Kansas City Royals. So it will be interesting to kind of see how he does during this year, since he was one of their major top prospects. He does have a speedster quirk, so we'll see how that goes. Number 9 is Grayson Rodriguez. He is a starting pitcher who will be on the MLB level for the Orioles. He is a right-handed pitcher who is a potential, a 73 overall. So he looks pretty good. We'll see what happens. Right now he does not have any quirks, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The next one on the list is Xavier Edwards. He is in the AAA for the Rays. J.J. Bellady, he is a right fielder for the Marlins in their AAA organization. Our third top 50 prospect is Emerson Hancock. He is a starting pitcher on the AA level for the Mariners. He has a potential of 71 overall, and honestly, he's 22 years old. His stamina is at 79. We get that overall up higher, maybe as he hits, maybe in the course of, hopefully when he hits 25, he can be on the major league roster and ready to go. That's a hope right now. We don't know. The number 13 prospect on the list is Matthew Liberatore with the Cardinals. He is in their AAA organization. Number 14 and number 15 are actually with the same team. 14 is Keanu Cavaco. He's a third baseman with the Twins. He is in their AAA organization. And the number 15 one is actually on their major league roster. He is a starting pitcher, Jordan Belovich. He is a potential 73 overall, and he looks like he could be something for the Twinkies. The next one on the list are Braille Marquez with the Cubs. Another Mariners prospect, Logan Gilbert. He was with us. He had a nice spring. He had a decent spring. He did appear in 16 games for us. He went 2 for 3. He went 2 and 3 with 4 holds and a 4.33 ERA and a 1.47 WHIP. He is a potential 71 overall. He is listed at 6'6". It's going to be interesting. He does have 5 really good pitches. I would say his best pitches as far as speed seem to be his 4-seam and his 2-seam fastball. He also has a slider, a curve, and a changeup. So it'll be interesting to see if the growth potential for Logan Gilbert going forward. Number 18 is Quinn Priester. He's starting pitcher for the Pirates. 19 is Corbin Carroll. He's a center fielder for the Diamondbacks. Number 20 is actually a starting pitcher for the Red Sox, Hunter Green. He's good. He's good. He's going to be a problem. He's only got 4 pitches, but he's going to be a problem. Number 21 is Nick Abel, starting pitcher for the Phillies and their AAA organization. Number 22 is J.J. Goss, the starting pitcher with the Blue Jays and their Double-A organization. The Pirates have Francisco Alvarez. He is a catching prospect with the Pirates Triple-A organization. Miguel Amaya is number 24. He is on the Triple-A organization for the Cubs. Royce Lewis is on the Double-A organization for the Twins. Nick Lodell, a starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds, who will be in the Double-A organization. As we keep going down the list, we see Drew Waters with the Braves at 28. He is on their Triple-A roster. Forrest Whitley, he is on their Triple-A roster for the the San Francisco Giants, I'm sorry. Seth Corey is also on there. He is on their Double-A organization. We have another Mariner making their appearance, Riley Green, who we traded for last year. I think it was with the Reds, or maybe Detroit. I can't remember right now. He is in their Triple-A. He's in our Triple-A organization at center field. Honestly, get his overall up. Get some of his stuff up. If he comes along nicely, he could be our future at center field. Well, okay, he could be one of our futures at center field. The other is not on this list yet. He's just recently drafted, but you never know. Going through the rest of this list, I don't see nobody else for the Mariners. Nobody else that stands. Nobody else that I can think of that. Oh, there is Jeter Downs. He is number 49. He is on the Angels Triple-A organization. He was with the Red Sox. Part of that trade that I think it was part of that trade with the Dodgers, I believe. But he's back. He's back on the West Coast with the Angels. And number 50 is Ivan Herrera. He is a catching prospect for the Cardinals and their Triple-A organization. So it's actually a pretty decent. And we have a couple of Major League prospects. Tyler Freeman will make his Major League debut with the Indians, as well as Kristen Robertson will make his Major League debut with the Diamondbacks. It looks, let me see, I think that's the last one. Yeah, that's the last one. It's a good mix of Double-A and Triple-A, some Major League, so it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see this list change throughout the year. So, that is going to do it for the end of spring. When we get started, it will be opening day. Noah Syndergaard versus Matthew Boyd as we get ready to open up the 2022 season here on MLB The Show 21 with the Seattle Mariners. Until next time.